and achieving more. Telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another hour of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. I want to thank you for tuning in with me today. I am excited about today. I'm excited about this entire month. Just excited. God is good, and we are thankful that He has blessed us. So for the next 50 minutes or so, this is going to be our sanctuary for uncompromised truth. This is the place where we perform what I call a structural audit on our reality. Pull down our heavy mass and recharge our internal batteries to 100%. So we are standing flat-footed on a standard of excellence. And we are here to talk about your life, your home, your school, your community with absolute authenticity. So please do me a favor right now, if you would. For those of you who tuned in, will you go ahead and share, call, text, tag, get others on. This is going to be a great show. And get some fathers on, because this show is going to be a show of celebration. And I believe that we're going to go into the heart of some of the things that men think and go through, especially those who are present. Those who are present. So we're going to talk about today what happened when fathers aren't absent. And so when fathers aren't absent, so many times we spend time talking about the father who's not there, the father who don't do, just so many different things. And Father's Day is coming up. And one thing I noticed about Father's Day, the restaurants aren't as crowded as they are on Mother's Day. Mother's Day, you can hardly get in a restaurant. But on Father's Day, you can. And y'all, we got some real good fathers. We really do. We have some good fathers. We have fathers who are in the house with their children. They're married to their mom, or they have that real good relationship going on. And then we have fathers who are outside the house, but they're much present. They're much present. They are there, and they're helping, and they're providing, and they're there. And then we have, and I don't know if my guest is going to get into this a little bit or not, but we're going to talk. We have women who won't allow the father to be present because they don't like the father anymore, or whatever has happened. But I want to, just like I celebrated the mothers, I have admired some of these men, the fathers who are in the home. My daddy was a very present father, and he spent so much time with all six of us. He spent time with us. All of us had our day with my mom, my dad. They took time with us, you know. But then there are some fathers who are not able to wake up in the morning and do the cereals and all of that stuff, but they're there. They're present. And I want to celebrate all of the present fathers. Some fathers are no longer married to their children mother, or they're no longer in a relationship with them, or however it goes. But we want to talk because it is a joy when a mother and father can come together because of the child. But sometimes you don't understand the stress you put on that child. You know, you don't understand that stress. So, but we're gonna talk about that. So while I'm getting ready to bring on my guest, I do want to say I give God thanks to my mom and dad. I will always remember them. I will always say their name. They will always come out of my mouth. God, not a day go by do I not think about my mom, my dad. Not a day. And it don't even matter who don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter. My mom, lady told me yesterday, she said, you and your mom was inseparable. And I never met your mom, and I met you today. She said, in person. And why I'm saying that, I want to Miss Valley. Hello. God bless you. And so thank you so very much for listening to my show. When I came, she came in, brought her grandchildren to the daycare today, and she said, I know your voice. I said, maybe the radio. That lady started screaming, I've always wanted to meet you. I always wanted to meet you. And I felt so honored. But Ms. Valley, thank you so very much. She's been listening to me for years, and thank you. And for all of those, I met so many of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to Sister Aretha and Brother Duncan, they have been following us for years. They are now members of Life Changers, and it was because of the show that they joined. And I want to say thank you all so very much. I don't take that lightly. I want to say thank you. And to everybody, hello. To those who came to prayer last night, oh man, I prayed. I told the Lord, send at least 12 men. He sent 22 men there in prayer last night amongst all those women. And do you not know those men prayed? And then we had two, Sister Louisa and Lady Ferguson. Mother Mitchell, thank you so very much for being, and thank you for being a supporter as well. Thank you. Those men prayed, and we really went forth in the Lord. So today, as I will, and y'all continue Dr. Therese in your prayers. Y'all know she lost her daughter. Her niece, she's her niece, but she's raised her, I think, since she was 6 months. That 49 soon, but she, and you all forgot to keep her in your prayers. I know so many wanted to come see her yesterday. It just wasn't the time, and y'all understand that. She's getting stronger. But y'all, please continue her in your prayers. And that was Krista, her niece, her daughter, and pray for her husband, her children. If y'all went on Krista's page, she was really excited that her son just graduated from Howard University. Her daughter, her father, and the entire family. Vanda McBride, like her sister. So y'all just pray. She was one of the Life Changers charter member at age 16. And she loved Life Changers and me, her first lady. And she loved a pastor. But she said, you're my first lady. And that's how she addressed it, man. But y'all please keep them in your prayers. So many people are passing, so many family dealing with grief. Let's keep them in our prayers, okay? Please keep all of these families in your prayers. So much is happening. That's why we don't have time for foolishness. So much is happening. Thank God. I want to say this over the phone, over this air again. I thank God for Reverend Holmes. Thank God for Reverend Holmes. Reverend Holmes is a mentor father of mine who helped. And I want to just tell him thank you. Dot D and Greg James, who've helped me get to this place. Bishop Lamar Simmons, though they have helped me get to this place where I am in radio, and I thank them all. Well, and to my amazing husband, Superintendent Jeremy Drell, I get to do this because of him. And I want to say, sweetheart, I love you so much. And Priscilla, thank you for making everything happen. I wanted to do this show. And because in our society, they talk about the father being absent a lot. It talks about how fathers are not there. Fathers don't do this. And when they say one father, they make it look like all fathers. I was talking with Evangelist Matt Bride, and she said, let's call and ask Marvin. Some of you all know him and some of you all do not. Hey, sweetheart. Some of y'all know him and some of y'all do not. But I watched this young man. He was a member of Life Changers before he moved out of the city. And I watched this man with his children. I watched him be there. I watched how he looked at them. I watch him serve his children. I watch him be there. And he has so many. He had the Kingsman Club and Boatman Academy, which he has now going on as well. He did a whole lot, praise and worship leader. But his son used to look at him as he ministered, and Marvin would be there. His children are aging up now. His daughter just graduated, and I wanted to bring him on. The next said, "Get Marvin," and I wanted to bring him on because he's a young man that I admire with his children. I admire the way he does his children, and he is a father that is present. And so at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on all the way from Atlanta by way of Tallahassee, Mr. Marvin Boatman.
Hey, Tallahassee, how are you? Thank you for having me on. Great introduction. Had me teary-eyed, but thank you.
And he will cry in a minute, y'all, for real. He will boo-hoo cry. Marvin, it is an honor to have you on today.
Yes, ma'am.
And
thank you for having
I called to ask you to come on, and I told you, and I think you know how I feel about you watching your children, because I've told you countless of times. I think that you do an excellent job with your children, and I love the way. And we want to talk about a lot of stuff. We want to talk about a lot of stuff. He and I stayed on the phone longer than I expected the other day, and he said so many great things, y'all. So many great things, and I used to admire how his son, when his son was a young boy. He would watch Brother Marvin when Marvin doing praise and worship, or when he's doing whatever. He would stand there, y'all, and stare at his dad. He would just watch his dad. And I think Marvin gave his good praises to God. And not to show out for his son, but he showed his son what it meant for a real man to praise him. So Marvin, some people know you, some people don't. Would you give the people a little bit about what you want them to know about you?
I am Marvin Boatman, not born, but raised in Tallahassee, Florida. As co-pastor, as I already said, that I have two kids, Caden and Sire Boatman. I run a nonprofit organization that's now been changed and called Boatman Inc. I still work with the youth, teaching them etiquette, grooming, dress for success. I have an academy that I'm working on as we speak, to travel across the world to speak to young men about the importance of their appearance, etiquette, integrity, you name it, we talk about. Also have a t-shirt company that I just started. So if you're in need of t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, embroidered, or I guess steam or pressured, I'm your guy. I have a lot of things that I'm doing right now. My business partner and I, we are now working on a foundation for our fathers that will assist them with information that they may need, whether it's having a great representative if you are doing the mediation with divorce and have kids, or if you are on child support and you may need some assistance, or if you don't have a job, we want to be able to provide you the different services, and making sure that you get what you need, and making sure that you get back on your feet and complete your assignment. Or
what did you say you call that, Marvin?
What? The Boatman Foundation?
Oh, that's the Boatman Foundation that you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll be the Boatman Foundation, but it will be geared to our fathers, and giving them information and tools to navigate through this process, whether it's divorce, whether it's child support, whether it's getting back on your feet, whether it's just counseling to keep yourself sane at the end of the day.
I love that.
So that's what we're working on now. But just to name a few.
I love that, Marvin, because unfortunately, and I think my cousin was in this boat. He was a good man, doing well. I mean, and the woman really didn't have to put him on child support because when I tell you he gave money, he was forever present. And she got mad, I believe, because he started dating or whatever. My sister said, "You on here to correct me if I'm wrong," but she took him to child support, Marvin, and ended up getting $1,000 less than what he was giving her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was giving her. He was really giving her a lot of money. So I really want to talk about this because we do want to encourage fathers.
Yes, definitely.
We do, and I think there's more fathers present. That's just my thought.
Yes.
Than they are absent or not doing what they're supposed to. And I saw the picture of you and the children, mom and Kate, Sire and Kaden when y'all at her graduation. I thought that was beautiful, man. Matter of fact, I took a picture of it because I want to keep it because I love that, and I think it's for the sake of the children. So, Martha, when I first mentioned to you, I had another topic, and he was like, let's not do it like that. And the reason why he gave, I thought it was really good. But Marvin and Pastor gave me this subject: when fathers are absent. When fathers aren't absent. Yeah. What does that speak to you, Marvin?
That speaks a lot. And this is crazy because let's be honest, we haven't talked in a while, right?
Right.
And so in my vision board that I made the beginning of the year, this was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. And I don't know if you remember, I've talked to Douglas Waddell about it a long time ago, that I wanted to do either a podcast, have a workshop, a seminar, or a conference pertaining this, because I feel like we don't advocate for those fathers that are present in their kids' life, whether they're married with that spouse or they're divorced. We don't get recognized as much as we should. And like you said, I think there are more fathers that are involved than they are that aren't. And we will expound on some reasons or some thoughts that I've seen, not just personally, but just overall speaking with other men, because for a while I've been doing some research pertaining to this and trying to figure out how can we overcome the stigma of deadbeat dads. We do have some, let's be honest, but we also have some that are not. And I think we have to find out the definition for what a deadbeat dad is, and then try to figure out how can we change that, because there are many reasons why women call deadbeat dads. And one of them for me is, not for me personally, but what I've seen over the years is that some women, and let's be honest, want things their way or no way. If we're going to talk about it, let's really talk about it. And so, for instance, if the kids need clothes, okay, that's great. That gives me a chance to interact with them, spend some time with them. Let me take them and find clothes. You have some women who don't want that. They want the money so they can do whatever they want to do with it. And so we have to figure out if we're really compromising or if we're really meeting in the middle. It doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you get it. And I think sometimes the men back up because I'm doing what you asked me to do, but it's all these stipulations that you want with it. And we don't need all that, right? Let's just focus on the kids. Let's focus on what you asked for, and let's go from that perspective and move forward. And I think sometimes in the midst of that, we get sidetracked because we're trying to prove a point. And at some point, we don't need to. At the end of the day, we need to focus on what is really important. And that those are the kids at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I've seen that as well, Marvin. And as you're talking, one of the things that came to me is that we have to stop measuring a father's worth strictly by the size of his child support check or how much he give and start measuring it by the weight of his presence. When I work in children and family, one of the things children want more than anything is their mama and their daddy, whether you're married or not. The
Yes.
children want their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And parents have to get to the place, as you're stating, it can't be about them. It cannot be about you all. The
Right.
parents bringing these children, and just cause the mom and dad, and you can correct me, son, in any time or interject, but anytime the mom and dad having a little friction, it can't be about the children.
Right.
Children's best interest must be at heart at
Mm-hmm.
all times.
Uh-huh. Is it easy? No, not by far.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, we're still dealing with emotions. We're still
Okay.
dealing with unresolved issues. We're still dealing with, and here it is, let's really be honest. Some of this stuff didn't really come from that husband or boyfriend. All of it. If we're gonna talk
Okay.
about it, really talk about it. There are times where, you may not see eye to eye, or what is it? Just lost my train of thought.
It'll come back. So the disagreement or all of that is not necessary just because of you or just
Right. It's sometimes beyond that. And so we have to really dig down deep, because here it is. At the end of the day, I'm a solution person. At the end of the day, if we had an issue, let's resolve it. Let's figure out how we can resolve it at the end of the day. So again, for today, it's not to bash anybody, women, whatever. It's just about us finding out how can we better help each other when it comes to co-parenting. Will we always see eye to eye? No, we won't. But at the end of the day, let's have a conversation. Let's put everything aside. What I did or what she did or who did, whatever. Let's put all that aside and focus on what are we going to do to make sure that, one, the kids don't see all the grown-up adult stuff that we do, and move from that. Sometimes, is that possible? No. Sometimes you do have to have a conversation with your kids, just to make sure that they understand that, especially if you're in their lives, you want to make sure that they understand that. And sometimes it don't always take just talking, it takes action as well. And so you have to make sure that you have both of those in a balance with that, so you can be able to maneuver like you need to, and not feel less than, if that makes sense.
Let me ask you this. So, I know that you and your mother were divorced. I think probably everybody know that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But how did you all get to a point, or was it easy? I know I see you all now, but was it easy getting to this point, or what did y'all decide, or how did y'all work on it? When did you tell the kids? How did y'all talk to the kids about the divorce, or did y'all include them in?
Most definitely. One thing I want everybody to know is, my kids know everything about their dad, everything. And I didn't hide anything from them, and I have nothing to hide from them. I think that's what has made our relationship so profound, because I never lied to them. I told them everything that happened. I told them what happened. And I told them, if anything, I'm going to make sure that I'm still there, as if, I'm saying, I'm not in the presence, meaning in their household, but I'm definitely going to be present when it comes to anything that they're doing, especially if I know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So with that, it wasn't easy. With much prayer, it's very important that you have positive people around you, that want to see good on both ends. It's not about taking up for Boatman. It's not about taking up for the other person. It's just about making sure that we understand the most important thing, and that's the kids. And I had a great support, and still have a great support system that reminds me of who I am and what I need to do as far as a father. And I think that's what happens a lot. We have other people that may be hurt or angry or want to see ill happen to that person. And we have to know how to decipher that when we're dealing and taking advice from different people, and then understand who you're taking advice from. You have to make sure that they have somebody, right? You have to make sure that they're in line with what they're doing, and not you just have somebody who's talking out of anger. So that's what has made it easy for us. Was it always easy? No. But as years went by, we worked on some things. We talked about a lot of things, but most importantly, our kids talked to us.
Wow.
And told us what they wanted from us and what they didn't want to see happen. And so we made that, we had conversations, we call them I call them intense conversations. We had those moments, and they wasn't always good, but at the end of the day, it was for the betterment for the kids.
Were the kids able to express without you or without the adults getting angry at those children?
Oh, definitely. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about us being upset with them about how they feel. It was very important for those who know me. I'm a stickler for tradition, stickler for yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, that whole nine. So imagine me going from old school to I had to put all that aside and really listen to my kids in order to figure out how can I make this easy for everybody? How can we make this easy for everybody? And when they had a conversation with us, we were not mad at all, by far. We listened, we took heed, and we executed what they wanted to see different. And they had no problem reminding us, especially that Caden of mine. She had no problem letting me know, hey, Dad, man, I don't think that was good. Or, hey, Mom, I think we should have did it. So they were very integral in this process, especially as they got older. And we, had conversations with them to make sure that they understood what we were trying to do and where we were going and what we needed from them and what they needed from us, made it much easier for us. And so that comes with maturity, that comes with counseling, that comes with understanding the greater good, and to see that, for instance, I know you wanted to talk about it earlier, but for us to see what took place a couple of weeks ago, let's be honest, did I think that it was going to turn out like that? Just being in the flesh, no. But my spirit, I knew that with much prayer and the people I had on my team, that one day we would see the outcome of it all. And it just blew my mind. And me and their mom had a conversation, and still want to have a conversation because we haven't had time to really dive into what that felt like a couple of weeks ago, but just by our smile and our conversation, it said it all, that it was worth all of the obstacles, the disagreements, the not so good days, all that. It made a difference. And I just wanted to encourage the men that even though you don't want to, even though that it's a lot, and it's a lot to deal with when everybody doesn't see eye to eye, it's a lot. But the kids seeing that you're still pushing, you're still in the race, you're still showing up. Now, there were times where I didn't disconnect, but I took a step back.
Yeah, I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, and so me taking a step back does not mean by far that I wasn't in their lives, that I wasn't still calling them, that I still wasn't providing, that I still wasn't checking up on them. That just meant that there were things that I didn't like, let's be honest, and there were things that I couldn't control. So I had to take a step back in order not to fly off the handle, or my kids see me in a different light, or, any of those negative things. I didn't want that to happen. And so I say all that to say, it's not always that fathers don't want to be a part of their lives. They don't want to be a part of the drama that comes with it. Let's be honest. They don't want to be caught up with all of the questions that I don't have to answer anymore because we don't have a relationship. I don't have to answer all those. The question or the focus is the kids, what they need and what they need only. All the other stuff, how you need to get it, all that ain't what we need to discuss. It just needs to be, what do you need from the that's pertaining to the kids. It's a lot of guys that I spoke with before. I had a conversation with Kings when I was there, and we would have different topics, whether it was about financial literacy, whether it was about entrepreneurship, or whether it was about fatherhood. We talked about those different things, and I had a lot of fellas say, hey, listen, I want to be a part of my kid's life, but I don't want to deal with her. And let's be honest, they don't at the end of the day. And we shouldn't, because at the end of the day, it's not us not getting along, because we need to understand we're not there to get along. We're there to do a job. And the job is to make sure that our kids are safe, that they got what they need, and that they understand this is how we're moving and this is how we want them to move if they ever get in a situation like this. And so I just want to encourage the fellas that you got to stay in the race. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this moment. What happens when what you're saying now, that it's the father doing that? It's that man with all of the drummer and all that. Because I've seen the vice.
I've seen it on both ends. Yes.
And sometimes the women say, I don't want to get, I just don't want the drummer.
I agree.
What would you say to that? I mean, what would you say to that?
I can understand where the women are coming from when it comes to that. I don't want to deal with someone who's extra, or they want it their way, or they're dramatic, or they're violent, if you will, when they come around. We definitely, I don't condone that, definitely don't want to see that. And I definitely understand a mother not wanting to deal with that father because of that. That's something totally different.
Okay.
But for those who really want to be there but don't want the drama, a lot of guys bow out gracefully. Do they want to? No. And it's hard for a child to understand that, because they're saying, was it that bad that you couldn't overcome it? Yeah. Sometimes it is. When you have somebody that's closed-minded, that don't want to listen, that don't want to move forward, but just want to make your life a living hell at the end of the day. I've seen that. Okay. That wasn't my story, if you will. Yeah. But there are relationships that occurred that way, and it's whether I'm still mad at what happened before, or like you said earlier, you have somebody. Hey, the woman may have someone, right? But at the end of the day, I want us to know that we have to have a praying life at the end of the day. And we have to make sure that we understand the importance of our role, and that stand in the race when we don't want to. Not listen. It's all about the children at the end of the day. But I want to be able to find different ways, or even having workshops, or, just classes on how can we better understand each other and what's more important. I know all the feelings, all the emotions, all that play a big part. And a lot of times it gets in the way and messes up a lot. But at some point, we have to realize that I got to take a step back. I have to understand what's more important, which are the kids, and we move on from that.
And I think that is important, Marvin. And I believe that the men have to have a way, and they got to hear from somebody who's been there, and they're not being judgmental. Mm-hmm. They're saying, "Yo, brother, we can make this work," because honestly, girls and boys need their dad.
Most definitely, boys and girls.
And they need to see, because what no matter how you say it, that dad is like the hero in that child's life.
Definitely.
And they may not have given one penny.
Mm-hmm.
But when that dad shows up,
it makes a world of a difference.
That's their hero. That's their dad. Mm-hmm. This is my dad. And so I believe that dads are going to have to, because society, we as a whole, have given the men a bad rap. If you're not married to their mother, and sometimes a lot of people don't see what the father is doing.
They definitely don't. And a lot of times, because of society has made it this way, let's be honest, the people are going to listen to the women before they listen to the men when it comes to this topic, because of what has been said, forever. And so, I mean, even like going to court, I had a conversation, believe it or not, with the judge. Because here it is, when you come in, I don't think women, let me say this, I don't think women understand the pressure that we have as men, as Black men, and what we deal with on a regular, outside of being married, outside of having kids. We're dealing with just surviving. Yeah. We're dealing with walking in a store and people looking at us or following behind us as if, and I know women get it too, but for the most part, it's very like demanding when it comes to men. We deal with a lot. And so we just trying to survive at the end of the day, right? And so we get sometimes where we just want to be heard. And so going back to the judge, when I came in, she had already stereotyped me. Okay. She made a comment of, well, when I started talking, I guess she was surprised of me talking and how I was talking and how I was, I presented myself. She was like, oh, wow, that sounds amazing. But I didn't think you were even coming, to be honest. She had the audacity to say that. So the atmosphere was real. It was real, like, uncomfortable until I said, hey, listen, in order for us to go forward, and with all due respect, I'm not the typical Black male that is a deadbeat dad. If you know me, you know I take care of mine, and I want us to respect each other in that capacity. And when I said that, the atmosphere changed. And it was, yes, sir. It was, hey, what? It was more in tune or engaged with what I had to say than let me just listen to the mom. And that's what happens on a regular basis. So I say all that to say we got to stand up. Whether we think it's right or wrong, we got to stand up, because at the end of the day, some of us are scared that this may happen or that may happen. And you know me personally, at the end of the day, I'm always in when it comes to right. And if I believe that it's right, I'm going to stand on it with all 10. Right. And so I want us men to fight more than what we're fighting when it comes to seeing our kids or having a conversation with our kids or even interacting with our kids. Even when we wasn't on good terms, we made it to, well, listen, you just speak with the kids, and if anything else, we'll discuss when it comes. But it's just you and the kids. And it worked perfectly. So you have to find what is suitable for your situation and kind of move from that. We got to find solutions and not just, I got to be right, or I got to make sure that I'm doing everything and I'm doing more than what she's doing, or he's doing more than what I'm doing. We got to get out of all that and just focus on what works for us. What can we do to make sure that we don't have this extraness going on that don't have to be? And when we found that out, and when we tapped into that, the rest was history. So, we're very excited to see how this is going to pan out for Sire with his 2 years left in college. And we've actually just had a conversation the other day about planning some stuff for him. And we, use Caden as the example. Now we know what to really do for the next one. So we're ahead when it comes to some things that needs to be done for him and his education and moving forward.
And that's good, Marvin, because one thing that I saw in those pictures, I saw the biggest smile on Caden's face.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was a happy girl. Not only was she graduating, but she had you and a mom in one room. And, I mean, she was happy. You could just tell it. And then you all were smiling. And, Mom Sherry, she going to smile anyway.
You already know. So I got calls left and right. I got screenshots left and right. And I'm sure she did too. But one thing Katie said, she said, hey, listen, it's my senior year. I don't want no mess. Figure it out, work it out. But I know everybody better be at my graduation. And we said, say less.
And I love it because I don't think parents understand the pressure and the stress that comes on children. And some children, when they get older, Marvin, if this don't happen early, sometimes the children don't, they put on this facade, but now I don't have to come home.
Right.
I don't have to be here. I don't have to do this. Because you got some fathers and mothers in the home who ain't as good as the absent, and when I say absent father,
Listen, I know.
listen,
When
what I'm saying
you say absent, meaning they're not in the household.
in the household,
I get it. Definitely so. I get it. And you're absolutely right. You'll be amazed of just because they're in the household doesn't mean it's great or everything is peachy. Doesn't mean a thing. Caden is more verbal than Sire. Sire, he just prayed to the Lord and pray that it all works out. But Caden gonna let you know about it. And so it's just been amazing to see my two kids, and I hate talking about it because I get teary-eyed, but not having trouble out of any of them. Just great, mannerable kids.
Yes, sir.
And some of the things they went through for them to overcome it has been amazing. Like, these kids are not the typical kids. I'm not saying it because they're mine, but these kids are anointed. These kids are mannerable. These kids are respectful. These kids are just what I always prayed for. And so for me to get that, and for us to for us to come together and to see what we have accomplished together has meant so much to me. And like you said, to see the smile on their faces was just the icing on the cake. And so I'm just grateful for what the outcome was.
Yeah. And you all put in a bunch of work. You and their mother.
Yeah.
Because they were with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So both of you all was influencing their lives.
Yeah.
And you all have done, even though, for whatever reason you all got divorced, but you did not divorce your children.
Most definitely.
You did not divorce the love that you all have for those children.
Yeah.
That was never divorced. And you all had to work through a lot of stuff, but you did it with the children in mind.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I appreciate about what you've done, as a father, is that you worked on you.
Yes.
The Lord ain't finished, but you worked on you to make sure that you and their mother could give them a life of joy, a life of peace, because they don't need to go through this trauma.
They don't.
You don't want Sire to grow up and Kaden to grow up and say, well, this is the type of relationship I got to have. I saw my dad do.
Right.
But you all, to me, have set some good examples for these children.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was.
And then to allow them to be vocal. I'm letting you get the tears out your eyes.
Thank you.
Come out your voice, and to allow them to be vocal. I think because one of the things about it, Marvin, to a child, when they see their father walks in, it tells the child the world is big.
Yeah.
But my dad is bigger and I am safe.
Yeah.
And that's what happened when the father is present. There is a power to a present father.
It is. Definitely so. So
when my dad walk in, everything is okay. Everything is okay. We thank God for Marvin. Best goddaddy ever. That's Victoria. She
Victoria.
Oh yeah, she and Billy. Billy think her goddaddy next to Jesus.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just me wanting to have a platform where I can really say there are some great dads in this world and that are part of their kids' life. And I just encourage the mother and the father to get outside themselves and think about the bigger picture, which are the kids. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, to make sure that they don't have to go through what we went through and make a smoother path for them. And so I'm always trying to encourage other males to be in their kids' life, whether you want to or not. Whether you want to talk to the mother of your kids or not, form that relationship with those kids. Hey, listen, me and your mom are not on good terms, but I want to definitely make sure that me and you have a relationship. So this is what I need from you. And there doesn't go a day without me talking to Kaden or Sire. If it ain't if we talking 3 times a day or 1 time a day, or just, hey, Dad, I just called to check up on you. I got to go somewhere, but just wanted to hear your voice. That's it. It don't have to be a long drawn out, but there are moments where we do have those moments where there are deep conversations and me getting to understand where their head is and what do they see with their own 2 eyes. Just trying to, feel the head and see how they maneuver or how they want to move in life. And so having that bond, there was never a day that I wasn't there. And everyone knows that. But it was hard not being there to cook for them and get them up in the morning and do all that, but things happen. And you just work through them and you do the best you can with what you got and you make the best out of it. And so that's what I was able to do.
Okay, so when you are parenting from a distance, how do you inject your presence into their identity when you're not like there to tuck them in at night, or you wasn't there to at their teenage years or whatever? How do you still inject your presence into their identity?
Well, my presence never left, even if I was in the household or not. Just my presence alone stands on its own 2 feet. Let's be honest, I'm joking. But me.
Listen, world, he's serious. He ain't playing. He's serious.
Oh, cut it out. But calling them, checking up on them, finding out what they need. When I do visit, I tell her, hey, whatever they need, let me know. Let me take them where they need to go or whatever. For those who know, my son is driving now, so keep me in your prayers. But he's done an amazing job, so I'm not even worried about that. But taking a load off of her when I come is what we have established. Anything they need to do, let me know in advance. Your week off or however long I'm there, you chill, you do whatever you want to. I'm gonna handle them while I'm there and kind of go from there. Me either sending money or sending whatever. If I'm not able to attend, they know my presence are there. Whether it's me telling the mom or the sister or the son, whoever is performing, I tell them, hey, I need some pictures, I need some videos, because I always want to be a part of what's going on, whether I'm there or not. And so when I left Tallahassee, it was bittersweet, but because we talk every day, it didn't feel like we were missing each other, if you will. Of course, that tangible touch and hugs and kisses is a must, but just having conversation, knowing that I'm there, I don't care what time it is, you call me whenever, Dad's go pick up, I'm gonna stop whatever I'm doing. It was always that. I always reassured them that whatever they need, or if I didn't have it right then, best assured you're gonna get it in the next hour or the next day. Like, I always made sure that I performed and I was a man of my word at the end of the day.
So you communicated that with them?
I communicated like crazy. Okay. Anything I did, anything I wanted to do, anything I thought, I always communicated with them, and I left that open so they'll be able to feel comfortable and do the same. Okay. And so that's what has kept us afloat and moving. And of course, everybody who knows me, they're sending me texts or videos. Did you see this? You already know I'm on it. I'm front and center always. And so that's what I want to encourage. Whether you're there or not, you want to be able to be in those places so the people can see. And not just for the people, but for the kids, wholeheartedly, for them to see what you're doing and how you're moving at the end of the day. But yeah.
Did you have hard friends in your life, Marvin? Well, I know some of your friends. I know you do. But did you have hard friends in your life who will say sometimes, Marvin, you just need to get over yourself and do this and do that or whatever? If you try to get stubborn with their mother or something?
Oh, most definitely. You know.
What did you tell them?
It went out. Say it again.
The friend.
Say it one more time.
What did you Okay, like your hard friends. Can you hear me? Okay.
Now I can hear you.
Like
Say
your
it again.
okay, like your hard friends who would probably say, "Come on, Bo, that wasn't
Yeah,
right. You should
yeah,
have done it." And, oh man, I know what I did. How
yeah.
did you handle those friends who was really hard on you, but you knew that they had those children best interests at
Oh,
heart?
most definitely. And when it comes from that place, is you have no choice but to take it, right? Because at the end of the day, I knew the friends I have, um, they wanted to see me win, right? They didn't want me to fall
I like
on the
that.
wayside. They wanted to see me win. So it was never a time where I didn't take in consideration or take in the advice that they gave me, because I knew it came from a authentic and, true place. And they saw me from beginning to now, and they were able to help me. No, Boatman, I don't think that's right. Or, yeah, you should. Or, you know what I'm saying? But I got both worlds, and I wouldn't change it for anything. That's what balanced me, and that's what helped me continue to be in their lives and being able not to make the wrong decisions. Because for those who know my temper, it don't take much. But it was people there to redirect me and to help me see it from a different perspective, which has helped me with the whole ordeal. So, yeah. I didn't look at it as you don't know what you're talking about or I ain't listening to you. Not one day. It was always something that I got from it and was able to implement it in the next segment or situation, if you will.
One of the things I saw about you too, Marvin, your consistency with your children. It was they didn't have to wonder if you were going to be one way today with them and one day tomorrow, or making excuses. So any of that, those type things, but you were consistent with them.
I'm glad you said that, not to cut you off, but it was very important. Here I go again, teary-eyed, because that was the most important. It was two things that I wanted to make sure that I did if I didn't do nothing else, and that was to be consistent and communicate throughout this whole process. That's why it was able for me to feel good, whether people was told different. I still knew who I was and knew what I was doing. Whether people saw it or not, it wasn't about that. Did I get upset? Of course. Anybody would. If you know you busting your behind to be the best that you can be, and you got people saying, nah, you ain't doing it. So that was hard for me, but I was able, again, to have people around me that was able to help me see it from a different perspective, and to say, hey, Boatman, you know who you are. You know what you're doing. Keep it moving. And so those two things made it so easy for me to stay consistent with them. Even in the midst of whatever was going on, I was still able to do that. And I want to read something to you, if you don't mind.
I don't.
It's The Committed Dad. And what I gather with that was, it says, a committed dad understands that fatherhood is not measured by a court document or an amount of time listed on parenting schedules. It is measured by love, consistency, presence, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I think that's what some fathers are missing, is the commitment in spite of. I was committed. And I get it. I understand, and I see it with my own two eyes, that you want to give up. You don't want to deal with the extra or the drama or whatever the disagreements. You don't want to do all that. So the best thing to do, and this is how a lot of men operate, so we can understand, women can understand better. We don't want all that extra. And so when we see it, we do have some people that's dramatic and drama and like to keep up mess. But for the most part, those men who really want to be in their kids' life, we don't want to deal with all that other stuff. And so we've been trained that if I don't want to deal with it, I'm going to just fall by the wayside and pray that it gets better. And we can't do that as men, right? That's what a lot of us been trained. Our mindset has been trained like, okay, it's drama. Let me just go. I don't want to deal with it. We just ignore a lot when we shouldn't. Those are the times where we step in and say, hey, listen, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that my kids, not the mother, not the other side of the family, not the community, but that they understand who I am and what I represent and what I'm trying to do with them. So there was never a day that they questioned who I was to them.
Yeah, because one of the things, your presence is your power.
Yes, it's definitely your power.
Is your power.
It's
and
your
sometimes, Marvin, I've seen people trying to buy their child this and buy their child this, or trying to buy their way into it, and that is what they want. They want.
I'm glad you said that, because that's what a lot of mothers and fathers do. But mine knew, because that's what I was raised on. It wasn't about the money. It was the spending time. It was the talking to me. It was the noticing the things that I didn't think you noticed or that you didn't see. It was all that made the difference. Anybody can buy you clothes. Anybody can wine and dine you. But let's look at all the celebrities that have all the money in the world, and they're what? Still miserable.
Yes.
Because they're what? They're not loved. They don't have the consistency. They don't have the communication. And so that's what I want to instill in my kids, so that they can be able to exemplify that when they get theirs, or just being in the community. So we want to make sure that we instill a lot of that in them moving forward.
Yeah, because and I think you said it a few minutes ago. You can't let a courtroom, your ex, or boundary line convince you that you are optional. You're not an option. You are essential. You
are very much essential, and you got to stay the course. I know it's hard, fathers. I know it's not what you want to do. I know you just don't have the capacity to do that. But I'm telling you from experience, if you stay in the race, the results you would get is what you saw 2 weeks ago. The smile on their face, the interaction when we haven't, let's be honest, the two families haven't seen each other in over 10 years.
Wow.
And I'm not saying it to make it negative. I'm saying it to say that when you put your differences aside and you focus on what's more important, just see the joy that comes with that.
Yes.
Seeing everybody interacting. And here it was. It was like we left off. We started where we left off, if you will, right? It wasn't no ill feelings. It wasn't, well, you didn't call me or I ain't heard. It was none of that. It's great to see you. You look amazing. What you got going on right now. I hear you in Atlanta. I hear you doing this. It was all of that. And that's what made the difference. Were those two kids scared? Absolutely.
I'm sure they were.
Absolutely. Because here it is. When things go on at school, they do not call me. Dad, just let mama do it, because you're going to have it to where you're going to have to call the police. You're going to have to do. No, but they know daddy will go. Anybody who really knows me know I don't play about my kids. And if they got a problem with me, have that problem with me. But do not take it out on my kids, because I am coming. And you listen, they already know I don't play about my kids. And I just want to make sure that people understand that at the end of the day, we can alleviate a lot of the things that are going on in the world. Let me tell you this, what happened. And that's why I go back to the deadbeat dad and the definition of it. I saw a post the other day that a father came to a kid's graduation in his work clothes. And apparently he may have worked in construction or what have you. I don't know if you saw it, but he came in dirty. The girl put up the post that, look at him. He could at least went home and changed clothes. He could at least spruced himself up. And it's like, here I am trying to do the best I can with what I got. You don't know what my day was. You don't know that my boss probably didn't even want me to be off to come to this graduation. So I had to use my lunch break to come. All those things factor. But do sometimes the women ask those questions? No. So we have to understand that there are dads in the world that want to be a part, and you have to meet them where they are until they can get to where you want them to be, if they ever get to that place. But we have to start off small. We just can't say, I want you to do this and that, and I want you to give me the money to buy their clothes. No, I want to have the money, and I want to take them myself so I can interact with them and have a conversation with them, find out what they do like. especially if I'm not in the household. That's my chance to have a conversation and to interact with them physically. But we're so busy. I want it my way or no way, and we can't always do that. So here it is. Are there really a lot of deadbeat dads, if you will? I don't think so. I think it's more so of, I don't want to deal with it. I tried several times to work with you, but you're not giving me that space to show you that I want to be in their lives. The only thing you keep talking about is you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and you didn't give enough. That's all I had. Let's be grateful for what I gave you. And I think we could do a lot better if we, it always throws me off when those comments come up.
I know.
But I don't know. We just have to get to a place where we can move past all that and find out what's really important and kind of go from there. Every situation is different, but we got to figure out who really is a deadbeat dad, and let's give the fathers that deserve it a little more grace. Here it is. Yes, we do know there are deadbeat dads, and we do know that there are those who try to make you get an abortion, or that ain't my kid, and they know really that it is their kid. Now that's when you go after and you do all the stuff that you do. Right. But for those who are trying their hardest and you see them in the community doing the other stuff with other kids, let's give them a little more grace than what we have given them. And I think it will work out better than what you perceived it to be.
This is Marvin M. Boatman.
Yo.
Tallahassee. He's in Atlanta now, but he's a country boy. He's in Tallahassee. Marvin, I want to thank you. There's a quote that I got from Clarence Buddington. He said this: my father didn't tell me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it. For all the fathers who aren't absent, you are showing your children how to live, and they're watching you do it. They're watching you your sacrifices. And I know I got mothers probably in their head. Oh, let me tell him. They ready.
Yeah, I already know. But let me say this for my thoughts for co-parenting. It says the greatest gift separated parents can give their children is not a perfect relationship with each other, but a unit commitment to their children's well-being. When children see love, respect, and cooperation, they learn the family can remain strong even when circumstances change.
Wow.
And I think that's very profound because it's very important that we set the example for them. And it makes it easier on all ends.
Yes. So, I love that. I love this show. I love the comments. And I want to say continue the great work with your children. You and their mother, y'all continue. You got Cyrus coming with now, and he's building his own brand.
His own brand. This guy here is.
But you all have raised two God-fearing children, and keep going. Keep going. Keep inputting in them. And to all of the fathers who's out there, y'all go on Facebook, look up Marvin Boatman, inbox, and he'll give you all the information he's doing.
Fellas, let's stay in the race. Yeah. It's worth it. It's worth it at the end of the day.
I love it. And so that was his conclusion. Fellas, let's stay in the race. And I love it because he will be real with you. Y'all, let's make it happen. We appreciate the fathers who's still here. We appreciate the fathers who are making the sacrifice. We appreciate y'all. And we know that us women can be something else. We can be, I mean, y'all brothers too, but us women can. But us sisters can be something else. We really can. We really can. But anyway, I'm for the sisters because I'm a sister now. But we can be something else. But I say to you, Marvin, and to all of the fathers, I say to y'all, keep doing what you're doing. You know, don't give up. It's worth it. Your child's life is worth it. And when you show up, you help them with their grades. You help them. I mean, you help them be better.
Yes.
You give your kids a peace. You really do. When you all come together for the betterment of that child, you give that child a sense of peace. And every child can't talk to their parents like they can do. They're going to hold some stuff. They won't tell them, oh, I'm okay, when they just full of turmoil. But parents, you make it right.
You got to be in tune. Got to be in tune.
Make it right for your child. So I want to thank you all so very much for listening. Thank you all so very much. This has been absolutely fantastic. I'm going to ask y'all to do me a favor. Share this on your page. We want fathers to hear. We want fathers to know that there are people out there supporting you, and we believe in you, and you can make it. And you don't go to court by yourself. Get somebody who's been to court. Get somebody who know how to do it. Get somebody who know how to talk to the judge. Mm-hmm. And so you all can work it out, because at the end of the day, it's all about the children. Thank you, Marvin Bogan, for being on.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, listeners, for joining in. And I absolutely love y'all. Y'all can join me tonight at 7:30 for Bible study at Life Changers. Or you could join me Sundays. Mother Gloria Seabrook, she talks last Tuesday. That lady love Life Changers, I tell you. Mm-hmm. And Elder Witherspoon, he's on prayer point number 203. So tonight he will be in prayer point number 203. I mean, he's been teaching 203 Tuesday, and he probably has maybe 5 Tuesday, Bowman.
Nice.
5 or 6 Tuesdays, but he has taught over 200 Tuesdays. And then join me Sunday morning, as usual, for our worship service, and our pastor will be teaching Sunday school. And also, I want y'all to remember to continue to keep Dr. Torres in your prayers, please. Yes. Please keep you in a prayer. If you don't have a number, text her. We did limit visitation because this is extremely hard. But you all keep her in prayer. I love you. And fathers, I want you to know that you have women standing in the gap for you, because we believe that God gave you not only to us, but to the children that he allowed you, because they come from you. You know, so when they say you like your daddy, they don't mean bad. They just mean you came from your daddy. That's real talk. I love y'all.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy.